Hi, everyone. I want to talk to you today about something called change. Tough, isn't it? To change your behavior, change your personality, change who you think you are. I want to talk to you about something called the crossing the river of change. And on a little bit of a side note, I have a tendency sometimes to tell women, because sometimes it'll come up, like, wow, I wish this guy would change, or I wish that, boy, if I could just change him, and I got to tell you what my response back is, okay? So, I tell them this all the time about a man's ability to change. All men can change, and all men will change, but there's only one woman that we're going to change for. Just one. Okay? We don't change for all women. Oh, no, we don't. We only change for one woman. And if he isn't changing, baby, it's because you aren't the right woman. Okay? That's kind of between the eyes. You just got hit between the eyes, but it's true. It's the truth. So understand that. And if you got a guy out there and you're trying like really hard to change him, and man, he's fighting you like, as he used to say, tooth and nail. I mean, every time you got to try to effect a change, you got to drag him kicking and screaming to whatever it is you want him to do or to change into, but if you're the right one, we'll do it on the drop of a dime. We'll be right there. Okay, so, and then something else that happened the other day, somebody was talking to me and asked me, like, how do you know she's the one? I mean, how does that come about? How do you know that? I mean, or do you ever know? And so I said, okay, all right, watch this. When she's not around you, you breathe differently, don't you? And if she expresses any kind of a need, or, oh boy, I wish I could have this or get this or fix this, or I wish I could have this room addition done by tomorrow night for my party, your immediate response is to fix it. Best you can, okay? And the last thing you want to look for is, does she encourage you to want to change into a better person? It's a big one, okay? Because if someone's doing that to you, for you, don't let them go, because they really care. Okay, so let's talk about change. The hardest part about change is not making the same choice as you did the day before. And the moment you decide to make a different choice, get ready, baby, because you're going to feel so uncomfortable. It's going to feel unfamiliar. There's going to be some uncertainty. You're not going to be in the known any longer. Okay, you're stepping out into the unknown. You're doing something differently in the body, which has been conditioned over and over again to be the mind. The servant of the brain is now the master. That's your body. So the body loves the familiar known. It loves the same suffering. It loves the same pain over and over. It loves the same unworthiness. It's been conditioned that way for years on end, and it really is running the show. So when you think about it, your body's running the show. I mean, your body is probably accounts for, let's see, as they say, 95%, almost 95% of all your decision-making comes from your body. I'm hungry. I don't want to do this. Touch me. Let me get over here and have this little drink here that but it's not good for me. But have it anyway. Don't worry. We'll start that tomorrow. So the body has become the master. And only 5% of your choices and your decisions are being made by the brain. Not good. Okay? Really not good. And, so the moment you step out into the unknown, the body goes, I don't like this feeling. I'd rather feel guilty than this feeling of the unknown because I can't predict my future. And that's what the body does. The body knows that if it gets this, it's going to feel this way. If you say this, it's going to feel this. And if you think about this, the body's going to feel a certain way and start producing chemicals that relive the experiences that we've had. So it's so important to get out of your body and to either get in precious moments or climb into that quantum field, the future, the unknown. Because there is where you will really build your life. It's not in your past. You know that. We know that. I know that. So the body starts influencing the mind. And we start to hear this chattering in our heads. We all have it. And it's always coming from, and we don't know where it's coming from. It's coming from the guy with the horns or the one with the halo. Or is it just misfires and neurological pathways that through neuroplasticity have laid down certain pathways and they play over and over and over again. So, tomorrow's a better day is what the body will tell you. And then it'll tell your mind to tell you the same thing. Tomorrow's a better day. You really don't feel like it today. Why not just have a piece of cake? But all for the ladies out there, I know a piece of cake is a sliver. And I can remember when I was a young lad, a boy back in the hood, back on 40th Street. Oh my gosh. I can remember my mother would get together with the ladies and my grandmother, and they would always pull out the coffee cake or some kind of a torte or a cheesecake and just cut me a sliver. And so, sliver in my mind is a very thin piece, so it just doesn't fall apart when you pick it up. And, I would cut them pieces that you could see through these pieces. All right? And then they'd look at that and they'd go, what's that? I wanted a sliver. That's like paper. Cut me a sliver. So then I'd cut them off a wad, and they'd make some kind of show for everyone else. But they'd eat it right down to the last crumb. So who's doing who? The sliver. Yeah, cut me a sliver. I don't know. I didn't mean to get off on a tangent there, but it's been known to happen to me, So, but tomorrow's a better day. So do you really feel like it today? Why don't you just have that piece of cake? You're a loser. It's your parents' fault. It's your ex's fault. It's your culture's fault. Whatever it is. And if we accept, believe, and surrender to it, as if it's the truth, then an old circuit in the brain that thought will lead to the same choice over and over again. Okay, which will lead to the same behavior, which will create the same experience and will produce the same feeling or emotion. The person says, well, this feels right to me. No, and no. Okay? That feels familiar. And that's what it is, guys. It's the familiarity of the situation that you're going through. It's what your body's feeling at the time. And it's trying to convince you that it just feels so good. Oh, do it again. Please, do it again, mister. But what it is it's just your body feeling familiar to a situation and to a physiological feeling. And the certain chemicals are flowing again. And so you think that this is what you're supposed to be feeling. No. Okay, so that's the crossing the river of change. It's going from the old self to the new self there. And that's a neurological, a biological, and a hormonal change. It's the genetic death of the old self. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, so there's pruning going on. There's inhibition going on where there's no longer, and we're no longer releasing the same stress hormones that give us the arousal. There's 3 types of stress: physical, chemical, and emotional. Physical stress being trauma. We know what that is. Injuries, accidents, falls. Chemical stress, you know, to be like viruses, bacteria, pesticides, pollutants, toxins, hangovers, fights with the girlfriend. Maybe. Whatever. Emotional stress. That's the big one. That's family tragedies. That's second mortgages, single parenting, 401ks, another favorite. Whatever it tends to be. Then the difficult one to manage really is our emotional stress. That's, out of the 3, baby, that's the tough one, you know. It's more emotional stress is if you can help people to get more physically balanced, okay, more chemically balanced, and to become more emotionally balanced, then the effects of their personal change, they start making the right choices. So, but that physical one and then the emotional, those are tough ones. They are. Okay, so what I'm saying is it's not going to be easy. But if you ever want to live that perfect life and you want to feel what that feels like, and you want to experience the greatest loves and the greatest adventures that you can, I mean, once you change the view, the landscape changes, right? So just change your eyes, look through different eyes, and you'll see the changes out there as they start to become more prominent, as you start to not allow your past and your body to dictate your future. Okay, so when people start making the right choices and they start feeling better, and then once they make the wrong choice, then it's a downward spiral back to the old unconscious habit or habits and an emotional connection they feel, and then they're going to feel like unworthy again. So if your personality creates your personal reality, which is what personality really means, truly, it means your personal reality, how you experience all those things that are around you. That's what is termed your personality. So creates your personal reality, okay? And I believe that, and when your personality is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel, then the present personality who's listening to this podcast has created the present personal reality called their life. Not your ex, not your parents, not your boss. You create your life. So it makes sense then, if you wanted to create a new personal reality, you have to change your personality. In other words, if you want to change your life, you got to change. You have to. And nothing changes in your life until you change. So then this is the first step. And change is to become conscious of your unconscious thoughts. Become so aware of how you behave. Okay, think about it, how you're doing things, how you're speaking, how you're moving, how you talk to people. Things you do. Be aware of them. And when they come and they're disturbing or whatever, in one ear and out the other, let them pass. And you'll start to notice them, and you'll start to make deliberate changes to them. So, and how you complain, who do you blame? You make excuses, you judge, and you're, are you aggressive? And then look at the emotions. What is this emotion I'm feeling now? This is guilt. This is sadness. This is victimization. This is unhappiness. Name it. So now you're conscious of it so that you don't go back there to the unconscious again and return back to the same self. And how many times do we have to forget until we stop forgetting and start remembering? That's the moment of change. Another little line I'd like to throw at you, something you think about, okay? If you're at your absolute best, I mean, you are smoking. You walk by the mirror and that person in the glass smiles back at you, and those teeth, those pearly whites are just sparkling on the other side. You're at your absolute best, okay? You'll never be right for the wrong person.